What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Game podcast. I'm your host, Terry. Trey is not available to be with us tonight. Obviously, we've missed a week due to our employment obligations. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is when you have to work for a living, like we do. So, we're recording this. This is not live, obviously. We should be back, hopefully, maybe next week with one that's live, where we can get Trey back over here with us as well, so we can get everybody caught up. But what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm just gonna recap this weekend's games from college, and then up to what games have already been played in the NFL. And then what I might try to do is get back out here later this week and get another one done to recap the games that are coming up next weekend. But we'll get into that. Obviously, starting off with some news. The coaching carousel is out of control. Florida has fired Billy Napier, thank God. After the 3-4 start. He was 22-23 in his 4 years at Florida. I guess the boosters finally gave Scott Strickland the ultimatum of get rid of him or we're not going to give you any more money. So Billy is out at Florida. Also, Colorado State has fired their head coach Norvell, which is in his fourth season as well. There is some talks that Virginia Tech is after Shane Beamer, trying to pull him away from South Carolina. That is a rumor. And there's also some rumors going around that Dabo may be. Obviously, his seat is hot at Clemson, but this may be his last year at Clemson, but we will see. Others, obviously, James Franklin got fired at Penn State. Trent Bray was out at Oregon State. Sam Pittman was gone at Arkansas. We all know about Mike Gundy getting fired at Oklahoma State, and then Deshaun Foster at UCLA. Troy Taylor was fired at Stanford. Jay Norvell, Colorado State. Trent Dilfer was let go from UAB. Kenny Burns, Kent State. So, obviously, there's a lot of schools that are making some changes in the hopes that next year will be a better season for them. We are going to give me 1 second. We're going to go over some scores real quick. Let's see. Let me get it pulled up here. Excuse me. So, let's see. We're going to start with Friday. Probably the biggest upset of the week was Louisville beating Miami. I don't think anybody saw this coming. Miller Moss for Louisville was 23 for 37, 248 yards and 2 touchdowns. Carson Beck, 25 for 35, 271, threw 4 interceptions. Carson Beck sucks. He sucked at Georgia. He sucks at Miami. I think this game kind of knocked Miami down, brought them back to earth. So now Miami they're still in control of their own destiny. They're 1-1 in the ACC. They're 5-1. Overall, Louisville's 2-1 in the ACC. They're 5-1 overall. But it looks like the ACC is going to be one of these years, unless Georgia Tech continues to go undefeated. It looks like it's going to be up in the air about who shows up for the ACC championship game this year. So with that being said, Minnesota beat Nebraska. Nebraska is now 2-2 in the Big Ten. Minnesota's 3-1 in the Big Ten. They're both 5-2. Let's see. California beat North Carolina. North Carolina is Bill Belichick's inaugural year. He's 2-4 so far this year, 0-2 in the conference. California's 5-2 and 2-1 in the ACC. And again, the ACC, I believe, is going to be open this year for anybody. Moving on into Saturday, Ohio State just embarrassed Wisconsin 34-0. I think this is Luke Fickell's last year at Wisconsin. However, I think Wisconsin will wait till right at the end of the year to fire him before they start their coaching search. But I think this is his last year, and there's a good possibility that James Franklin can end up at Wisconsin. Don't quote me on that, though. But for Ohio State, number one team in the country, looking like the number one team in the country, Julian Sayin was 36 for 42, 393 yards and 4 touchdowns. Isaiah West had 9 carries for 55 yards. Bo Jackson, not Auburn's Bo Jackson, 10 carries, 26 yards. Receiving, Carnell Tate had 6 receptions, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jeremiah Smith, 9 receptions, 97 yards. Bo Jackson again, 5 for 57 yards. I mean, Julian Sayin he spread the ball around. I mean, it's ridiculous how well he did. But yeah, I mean, Wisconsin had 49 total yards passing in that game and 95 total yards rushing. So Ohio State's defense is rock on. So they will be playing for the national championship this year, unless they just lay an egg at some point. Moving on, Indiana is still undefeated in the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten championship is going to come down to Indiana and Ohio State, which I think Ohio State will win. Indiana's 7-0. They beat Michigan State, which is 3-4. Texas A&M beat Arkansas 45-42. It was a close game. It was a good game if anybody watched that game. I mean, Bobby Petrino, he's an offensive genius. But it's hard to take over in the middle of the season for a coach that just got fired and get these guys ready to go. But it was 45-42. Arkansas played good. Another big game, Ole Miss, number 5, loses to Georgia by 8, 43-35. So now Ole Miss is not out of the talks, but they cannot afford to lose another game. Trinidad Chambliss, 19 for 36, 263 yards, 1 touchdown. He also carried the ball for 42 yards. Keywan Lacey ran the ball for 31 yards. Gunnar Stockton, 26 for 31, 289, 4 touchdowns. Stand by, Georgia fans. That might be the front runner for the Heisman right now. Nate Frazier carried the ball 72 yards on 17 times. Chauncey Bowens carried the ball 61 yards on 10. And Gunnar Stockton also ran 10 for 59 and 1 touchdown. He also spread the ball around. Zachariah Branch, 8 receptions, 71 yards. Dylan Bell, 2 receptions, 57 yards. It was a good game. It was a good offensive game. I wasn't expecting the score to be that high, but it ended up being. But Georgia looks like they're back on track. Ole Miss, you can't lose another one, brother, if you're gonna play for the SEC championship game. The other big game of the night was there was several ranked ranked games. Alabama beats Tennessee in Tuscaloosa 37-20. Tennessee's now 2-2 in the SEC. I believe unless they just get ranked in the top 12 by the end of the year, they're not going to be playing for the SEC championship game, and they may not even be playing for a college football playoff appearance. Alabama's now 6-1, 4-0 in the SEC. So they're going to have to lose an SEC game, which I don't know if that's even going to happen. But Joey Aguilar threw for 268 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Ty Simpson threw for 253 yards, 2 touchdowns. Deshaun Bishop for Tennessee carried the ball for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Alabama was rushed by committee. Jeremy Bernard, 49 yards. Daniel Hill, 34 yards. Ryan Williams, 16 yards. Jam Miller, 15 yards. Jam Miller just hasn't been the same since he's been back with from his injury. I don't know what's going on with that. It'd be good to see him start running the ball a little bit more for Alabama, but he may still be nursing that injury a little bit. Another upset, Texas Tech, my sleeper for the college football playoff, sits here and drops a damn egg to Arizona State, 26-22 by 4 points. Really? Come on, guys. Will Hammond threw for 167 yards. That's low for a Texas Tech offense. Sam Levitt for Arizona State, however, threw for 319 yards. Even though it was a close score offensively, Arizona State just looks so much better. So I believe Arizona State's probably back in the hunt now for the Big 12. Texas Tech, again, you probably cannot lose another game. If you do, your chances of playing for the college football playoff are over with. Oregon beat Rutgers 56-10. Vanderbilt beat LSU at home. Beat Vanderbilt was at home 31-24. I watched that game. That was a good game. It was back and forth. LSU just didn't convert when they needed to convert. I believe Vandy picked up either 2 or 3 fourth down conversions that kept them in the game. Georgia Tech beats Duke 27-18. Haynes King ran for 120 yards. Again, Georgia Tech's undefeated. Let's see, USC and Notre Dame. Notre Dame beat USC 34-24. Jordan Love had 228 rushing yards in that game. He's another Heisman hopeful, and if he keeps playing the way he's playing, I think he's going to be good. Oklahoma beat South Carolina, and that's when the rumors started floating around about Shane Beamer possibly going to Virginia Tech. South Carolina's season has just gone straight to shit. They came in ranked. They came in as a SEC powerhouse, and now they are 3-4 on the season and 1-4 in the SEC. BYU beats Utah. BYU's undefeated, 7-0, 4-0 in the Big 12, 24-21. That was a good game. I watched a little bit of that. Missouri is 6-1, 2-1 in the SEC, 23 beating Auburn, 23-17. Yeah, Auburn. I don't know what to tell you, man. Y'all got screwed last week, and y'all just couldn't pull it off this week. So, look for Auburn to be making a coaching change at the end of the year, I believe. Virginia squeaks by Washington State, 22-20. They're 5-0 in the ACC, and the 6-1 total on the year. They control their own destiny. South Florida wins again at Florida Atlantic, 6-1, 3-0 in their conference. Texas just barely squeaked by Kentucky, 16-13. I tell you, Texas has got some issues, and they've got to get their game going. UAB with an interim head coach beats Memphis 31-24. Cincinnati beats Oklahoma State. Ever since Mike Gundy left Oklahoma State, they've just been in shambles down there. Michigan beats Washington 24-7. UConn beats Boston College. Houston beats Arizona. TCU beats Baylor. Tulane beats Army to be 3-0 in the American Conference, which they're the team to beat. I think it's going to come down to them USF, which I believe they play at the end of the year, by the way. And then West Virginia loses to UCF 45-13, and then Northwestern beats Purdue. And then another game, Clemson loses to SMU. Bad year for Clemson this year, Clemson fans. UNLV is no longer undefeated. They lose to Boise State 56-31. So Dan Mullins finally got his first loss there at UNLV, but they still have a opportunity to run for the Mountain West Conference championship game, playing probably Boise State if they get their shit together. James Madison beat Old Dominion. Let's see, and of course Florida beats Mississippi State, and then fired Billy Napier. Way to go, Florida. Iowa beats Penn State. Penn State's going to be looking for a coach. UCLA wins again. They beat Maryland with their interim head coach. So now UCLA's 3-4, 3-1 in the Big Ten. I mean, who'd have thunk it? Hawaii beat Colorado State. Pittsburgh beat Syracuse. And Stanford beat Florida State. Florida State's now 0-4 in the ACC. I honestly believe that this will definitely be Mike Norvell's last year at Florida State. I just think they will wait till the end of the year to fire him. Top 25 real quick. The new one that just came out. Ohio State's ranked number 1. Indiana's 2. Texas A&M's 3. Alabama's 4. And Georgia is 5. 6 through 10 is Oregon, Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, and Miami, and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is now in the top 10 in the country. They moved up 7 spots by beating LSU. That's unheard of. Miami did fall to number 9, which I think they probably should have fell a little bit lower. Let's see, 11 through 15 is BYU. They make a huge jump. Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Texas Tech falls all the way down to 14, which is 7 spots. Missouri's up 1. Virginia's up 2. Tennessee falls out by 6. They're down at 17. South Florida moves up 1 to 18. Louisville is ranked 19 after being unranked. I think that's a pretty big jump, but it is what it is. Cincinnati moves up 3. Texas is down 1. And then Illinois, Arizona State, and Michigan they round out 23, 24, and 25, and they were all not ranked last week. So that was college football. We're going to go ahead and move right on into the NFL, look at some scores, and then we will Well, let me see if there's any news to go about. I don't think there's any news. So let's see. Well, the Commanders, Daniels, their quarterback Daniels is set for an MRI after leaving out with a hamstring injury. Let's see. Apparently, Justin Fields got benched, but they're not making a exact naming of their starting quarterback yet. So, not much going on in the NFL as far as today. Let's see. Let's look at some scores. All right. Right now, Sunday night, the Falcons and the 49ers. The 49ers are up 10-3. Atlanta had to travel out to San Francisco for that game. The early game, which was the Rams and Jaguars playing in England, the Rams beat the Jaguars 35-7. Trevor Lawrence was 23 for 48 with 296 yards. Let's see. Matthew Stafford 21 for 33, 182 yards. Let's see what else. The Saints lose to the Bears. The Bears are now 4-2. The Saints are now 1-6. That score was 26-14. Spencer Rattler was 20 for 32 for 233 yards, and I believe Caleb Williams had a pretty good day. 15 for 26, 172 yards. He threw one interception. So, the Dolphins lose to the Browns. Dylan Gabriel's first start, 13 for 18, 116 yards. The Browns beat the Dolphins 31-6. Let's see. Vrabel's return to the Titans as the Patriots head coach. They are now 5-2 on the year. They beat the Titans 31-13. Drake May was 21 for 23, 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cam Ward was 25 for 34, 255, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Let's see. The Chiefs blow out the Raiders 31-0. Chiefs are now 4-3 on the year. The Eagles bounce back and beat the Vikings 28-22. Mind you, J.J. McCarthy did not play in that game. He's still out. However, Jalen Hurts did, 19 for 23, 326 yards, and 3 touchdowns. It's been a long day, guys. The Panthers beat the Jets 13-6. The Jets are now 0-7. Bryce Young was 15 for 25, 138 yards. The Giants lose to the Broncos 33-32. Jackson Dart was 15 for 33, 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let's see what Bo Nix did. Bo Nix was 27 for 50, 279 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cam Scattaboo ran for 16 carries for 60 yards, and J.K. Dobbins ran 14 carries for 81 yards. Let's see. The Colts beat the Chargers 38-24. The Colts are now 6-1, and a lot of people have got the Colts picked to win the damn Super Bowl. Daniel Jones, 23 for 34, 288 yards, 2 touchdowns. Justin Herbert was 37 for 55, 420, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He also carried the ball 31 times. Let's see. Jonathan Taylor carried the ball for 16 times for 94 yards. And then both quarterbacks spread the ball all over the place. I mean, they hit a lot of their receivers. Gadsden for Los Angeles had 164 receiving yards, and Keenan Allen had 119. Ladd McConkey had 67. Alec Pierce had 98 for Indianapolis. Tyler Warren had 69. Michael Pittman Jr. had 58, and Jonathan Taylor had 38. I'm telling you, man, the Colts are on a roll. They keep winning. They're gonna turn some heads. Unfortunately, the Cowboys beat the Commanders 44-22. As I said, Daniels went out with a hamstring injury. Jaden Daniels, while he was in, 12 for 22, 156 yards, 1 touchdown. Dak Prescott was 21 for 30, 264, and 3 touchdowns. Javonte Williams also carried the ball for 19 carries, 116 yards for Dallas. And Washington had a total of 136 rushing yards, but it was divided up between about 6 people. Let's see. Oh, the Packers beat the Cardinals 27-23. Jacoby Brissett for Arizona was 25 for 36 for 279 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love was 19 for 29, 179. Tomorrow night, let's see. Uh, the Falcons and 49ers are at halftime now. Let's see. Tomorrow night, you've got a doubleheader. You got the Bucks playing the Lions. I think that's going to be a pretty good game. The Lions are at home, and then you got the Texans playing the Seahawks, with the Seahawks being at home. Both those games are going to be on. Let's see, the Bucks and the Lions are on ABC and ESPN, and then the Texans, which come on at 10 o'clock, are going to be on ESPN. The Bills and the Ravens were off this week. That's it for the NFL. Going back to college, you guys know I'm a Gators fan, so we're going to go over the top 5 replacements for Billy Napier. They're looking at Glenn Schumann. Obviously, he's the defensive coordinator for Georgia. If they can pull him away from Kirby Smart in Georgia, he would probably be a good hire. However, he is a defensive mind. I don't think we've had a real issue on defense at Florida out of the last 5 head coaches. I think what we're having is player development on offense, specifically the quarterback position, other than when Dan Mullen was there. And then the issue with Dan Mullen is that all he recruited was specialty players, and he didn't pay a lot of attention to the offensive line, and that's where our issue was. Some people are saying maybe Matt Campbell from Iowa State. I think he would be a good hire. He would be a no-nonsense coach that could come in and get Florida back on the right schedule. I mean, everybody knows what he's done at Iowa State. And I think we need that hard-nosed, run first, play action type offense. Get back to the SEC roots of running the ball. Joe Brady, if they could pull him away from Carolina, that he would be good. Everybody remembers what he did when he was at LSU. LSU won the national championship with him calling their passing plays and help calling the offense down there. So he would be a good hire, I think. Kurt Cignetti, he's not leaving Indiana. And if he does, he's going to Penn State. So y'all can throw that one out. And then Lane Kiffin. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I don't think Lane's going to leave Ole Miss. Why would you leave an established program and then turn around and go to a program that you got to rebuild? Granted, the recruiting's better. Yeah, there's probably a little bit more money. But, dude, Lane's got it made. If he leaves Florida, which it would be a move that Lane would do because that's just how Lane is, but I just don't see it. I think we're going to have to get somebody else other than Lane. I mean, I know he's the number 1 pick for everybody, but I just don't think it's going to happen. If it does, great, but I just don't see it. But anyway, well, look, guys, sorry about being absent last week. Like I said, employment responsibilities kept me and Trey away. And then employment responsibilities this week and next week are kind of causing us a headache with scheduling to get out here and get the podcast done. But we will get it done when we can. Most of them will probably be recorded. We probably won't be live again for at least maybe another week or 2. But please come back, watch our recordings. If you've got anything that you want to leave us, you can contact us at beyondthegamepodcast6@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Facebook. I know Trey's still working on our TikTok page. We're trying to get that up and running. Let your friends know about us. So let your family know about us. Go back, leave some comments on the YouTube page, and maybe we can get in there and get talking. And obviously, we will let everybody know when we do go live. We'll post it on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And then please come join us when we do that. Outside of that, if you guys have anything for us, feel free to contact us. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Enjoy the football season, and we will see you guys next time. Everybody be safe. Good night.